In this video, you'll learn how to set up consent mode in Google Tag Manager to only fire tags when people have agreed to use cookies on your website. This is the 7th lesson in my Google Tag Manager training series. If you're new to this series, please check out the other lessons. I've included links to them in the description below this video. Consent mode lets you integrate your cookie banner with Google Tag Manager so that tags only store cookies once people have opted in. Using consent mode means you can also make use of model data in GA4, Google Analytics 4, to fill in any gaps in your data. In this video, I'm going to show you how to configure a simple cookie banner using consent mode in Google Tag Manager. Let's head to Google Tag Manager to take a look. We're going to start by adding the consent overview to our container. This provides a summary of tags that do and don't use consent mode. To enable this, let's select Admin. Then Container Settings. Let's enable the Consent Overview option and click Save. Now let's navigate to Tags. We can now see the consent icon above our tags. Let's select this. This shows us all of the tags in our container. We can see all of our tags are listed under Consent Not Configured. This tells us that we haven't configured consent mode for these tags yet. However, you will notice for all of the Google tags we've configured, there are different values listed in the built-in consent column. For example, looking at the Google Ads conversion tag, we can see it says Add Storage, Add Personalization, and Add User Data. This means the Google Ads conversion tag will automatically adjust its behavior when these consent signals are present. So once we've finished implementing the cookie banner and consent mode, we don't need to adjust these tags for them to work based on people's consent choices. So unless you have custom requirements, the tags to focus on are the tags where there are no values listed in the built-in consent column. For the tags that don't have built-in consent settings, we need to define when they should trigger. Let's select the tag for LinkedIn. And let's scroll down and look for consent settings. Now we need to select Require Additional Consent for Tag to Fire and click Add Required Consent. Now let's enter add_storage. This will mean people need to agree to cookies being stored for advertising before the tag will fire. And let's click Add Required Consent again and enter add_personalization. This means people need to agree to cookies being stored for personalized advertising. And let's click Add Required Consent one more time and enter add_user_data. This means people need to agree to their user data being stored for advertising. Now let's save the tag. You can now repeat these steps for any other tags that don't have built-in consent settings. So I would go ahead and apply the same configuration to the meta pixel in this container. At the bottom, you'll find a section called Consent Configured. When consent mode is defined for a tag, they'll be listed in this section. Okay, let's close the overview. In this tutorial, we're going to cover a simple free solution for setting up consent mode. We're going to add an open source cookie banner to our website using Google Tag Manager. This will pass details about people's consent choices through to Google Tag Manager to control how our tags collect data. To get you up and running quickly, I've created a pre-configured template you can import into Google Tag Manager. I've included a link in the description below this video. Okay, let's navigate to Admin. And let's select Import Container. Let's choose the pre-configured template and select Existing and choose the default workspace. Now I'm going to select Merge and I'm going to import the container. Now let's navigate to tags. We can see there are two new tags, one called Consent Mode and another called Cookie Banner. Let's open the Cookie Banner tag. This tag is a custom HTML tag that includes the cookie consent open source cookie banner. This will add a basic cookie banner to our website. There are a range of configuration options you can use to adjust the functionality, appearance, and information included in the banner. To learn more about the cookie consent open source cookie banner, you can find details in the description below this video. I also want to highlight you can add this code directly to your website instead of using Google Tag Manager. However, the benefit of adding it using Google Tag Manager is that you shouldn't need to adjust anything else on your website. Okay, let's close this. And let's select the Consent Mode tag. This uses a tag template that updates the consent status. Let's close this. And let's navigate to Variables. We can see there is a new custom JavaScript variable called consent. This variable checks if people have granted consent using the cookie banner. Once someone makes a selection, this variable checks the cookie that stores their selection. Okay, now let's navigate back to Tags and click the Consent Overview icon. We're going to adjust the cookie banner tag. Let's click the name of the tag. Scrolling down, let's look for Consent Settings. And since this tag adds the cookie banner to our website, let's select No Additional Consent Required. And let's save the tag. And let's do the same for the Consent Mode tag. Let's select the tag and select No Additional Consent Required. And let's save the tag. Okay, now it's time to test our cookie banner. Let's click Preview. Tag Assistant loads. We enter the URL of our website and click Connect. Our website loads, and we can see the cookie banner on our website. Before we allow cookies, let's open the Tag Assistant tab. We can see a number of tags have been fired. This includes our consent mode and cookie banner tags, because we configured these so they don't need additional consent. And if you're wondering about the Google tags that have fired, this is because they automatically adjust based on consent preferences people select. So even though we haven't allowed cookies yet, they can still send basic anonymous data without needing cookies. We can also see the LinkedIn tag hasn't fired because we haven't provided consent yet. Okay, now let's select the page we viewed on the left. And let's select the Consent tab. We can see most of the consent options are set to Denied. So Add Storage, Analytic Storage, Add User Data, Add Personalization, and Personalization Storage are all denied. The two required consent options, so Functionality and Security Storage, are set to Granted, but you can adjust this in the Consent Mode tag if you choose. Now let's select the Google Analytics Measurement ID at the top, and let's select the Page View hit. We can see the cookie consent state parameter has a value of G100. This means Google Analytics isn't using cookies yet, And we can check this by enabling the Format toggle. So Add Storage and Analytics Storage are currently denied. Okay, let's close this and select the Google Tag Manager Container ID. And let's head back to the website. Let's allow cookies. And now let's view another page. And let's open the Tag Assistant tab again. Let's select the last page we viewed. We can now see the tags that have fired, and this now includes the LinkedIn tag because we allowed cookies using the cookie banner. And let's select the Consent tab. All of the options are now granted, so all of the tags will fire or adjust their behavior based on the selections people make using the cookie banner. We're now using consent mode with Google Analytics. When you're happy everything is working correctly, you can publish the container to your live website. Apart from the solution we covered in this tutorial, you can also integrate consent mode with a range of consent management platforms in Google Tag Manager. Have you set up consent mode, or are you going to? I'd love to know. Let me know in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, please take a moment to click like so I know to make more videos like this one. When you're ready to learn even more about Google Tag Manager, please check out my course. I've included a link in the description below this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.